Hey, welcome back to Q&A with Jay. I'm really excited about today's question. I actually get this a lot from people. They want to know what characteristics make up a leader. So here's the actual question. What 3 characteristics are essential for a good leader? I really have been putting a lot of thought into this one because there's so many characteristics that lend themselves to being a good leader. I think that ultimately, one thing that's really important is that leadership is not a title. It's an attitude. If you want to know you're a leader, look behind you and see how many people are following you. Because if none are following you just because you got a name badge that says you're a manager or a supervisor or an executive or whatever else, you're probably not actually a leader. Now here's 3 characteristics that I think play a big part in leadership. And somehow I managed to make it 3 P's as well, so that's kind of fun. The first one is passion. I think as a leader, you have to actually be excited about the work that you're doing. And frankly, if you're not, why are you doing it? I'm not saying that 100% of the time, every single day, you're just totally on fire and completely passionate, but people like to follow people who are actually excited about the work that they're doing. Also, as a leader, one of your responsibilities to some extent is to get your team excited about what it is that you're working on. I'll give you an example. For us, we build websites and we do social media campaigns and we create videos and we do brand messaging and we develop applications. And on the surface, all of those things are pretty straightforward. They're just, putting pixels on a screen and writing code in a document. But there's not that many people that are going to be that passionate about those things. But when we talk about the idea of why we do what we do, it's not just about pixels, it's about people. Because when we build the right marketing campaign, when we create the right website, when we craft the right video, when we build the right application, we're helping somebody else grow their business. And you can see already inside of me, just as I talk about it, how much more excited I am just saying that than I am talking about building a website. I could care less about that. You could build a website for $20, maybe $0 probably on some platforms, but that's not the purpose. We're trying to craft an entire package to help somebody grow their business. And because I'm so passionate about that idea of helping other people grow their business, that is infectious for a team. Now, there are other things that can be infectious too. Negativity, gossip, just a bad attitude in general. Those things are highly contagious and you do not want to spread those things. But passion and excitement about the work that you get to do, and as a result, the work that your team gets to do, that's something that every leader needs to have. So the first one is passion. The second one I have on my list is persistence, or maybe perseverance. Same thing, and they're also both P's, which is great. Persistence is so important because as a leader, the one thing I can guarantee you, regardless of what industry you're in or who you're leading or anything else, is that things are not always going to go as planned. In fact, sometimes things are going to go really bad. And then when they do, if you're actually the leader, people come to you and go, hey, this is really bad. What do we do? And now you're stuck and you got to figure this out. And there are plenty of times, especially if you run your own business, where you go, why am I even doing this? This is really hard. Maybe I should quit. And if you want to be successful in the long term, you have to have perseverance to push through those periods of time. You have to know that this is a season that you have to be able to work through, and you need to put the right people around you to help you do that. So you have to have persistence as a leader. So you got to have passion, you got to have perseverance. And the last one I think is really important for those of you that are younger entrepreneurs. And look, I started super young too. I started so young, I was 17 when I started this business that I run now, but I was 12 when I built my first website. And let me tell you, when you're 17 and you're trying to build a website for another business, you essentially are trying to hide yourself from them, versus now I'm actually creating videos to put myself in front of you because you're so young. And there's a trust factor there. But here's the #1 problem that I see with a lot of young folks today. And this is not about millennials or any particular generation. It's just young people in general. And a lot of business people in general, it's not even just young people actually, is lack of patience. You have to be able to wait to get to where you're going. And you'll notice, I like to talk really fast, but in these moments where I stop, there can be so much power. And sometimes in those moments of stop, in those moments of patience, it's where you get to where you need to be. What happens so often is people will look at a business like ours that's been around for 20 years and say, well, it's easy for you to say because you have X, Y, and Z as a company. Yeah, but you were kind of an overnight success. No, I wasn't. I worked really, really hard every single year, year over year, and many years for not very much money at all. But I had patience because I had a vision of where we were going. That vision changes and morphs over time. Reference one of our other videos that I've shot previously talking about how to take that vision of the future and turn it into a particular goal. That has real impact, but you have to have patience to get there. Patience over time with the right actions will result in success. So those three things that you need are what I consider to be the most essential qualities of a good leader. You need to have passion, you need to have persistence, and you need to have patience. All of those things are actually things you can work on as well. Ask the people around you, how do you think I'm doing in these three areas? What do you think I could do to improve? I hope that has been helpful. I'd love to hear what you think. If you don't think these are the three essential qualities of a leader, put them in the comments. What do you think they should be? So share those ideas, leave questions that you might have, and I'd be happy to answer those on future episodes. Thanks for being here for another episode of Q&A with Jay.